It's past 2 in the morning. The rain outside hasn't stopped since evening. I sit by the window watching drops crawl down the glass while the clock ticks too loud in the silence. Sienna promised she'd be home by 8. Dinner turned cold hours ago. Her phone goes straight to voicemail every time I call. She's been working late almost every night since joining Linux Corporation. She said it was demanding, that Ronan expected commitment. But tonight feels different. The air feels heavy, like it's trying to warn me. I stare at her empty chair across the table. Her mug still sits there with a faint mark of her lipstick. It feels like she's everywhere, except here. I grab my keys and jacket. My chest feels tight as I step outside into the rain. The drive to her office feels endless. Every red light burns into my patience. When I finally reach Linux, the building stands tall and cold, its glass walls glowing faintly under the storm. Sienna's car is parked in the corner, half covered in rainwater. She never leaves it there overnight. I walk up to the main doors, heart hammering. The guard recognizes me but hesitates. I tell him I'm here to pick up my wife. He doesn't stop me. Maybe he sees the look in my eyes. The elevator ride feels suffocating. Every floor I pass smells of steel and expensive perfume. I remember how proud she was when she got this job. She said Ronan believed in her talent. She said he respected her. When the elevator opens, the top floor glows faintly. I can hear soft music coming from the corner office. Her office. I take a step closer, and then I see her. Through the glass wall, Sienna stands near Ronan's desk. Her back is turned, her hand brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. She's laughing. That light, unguarded laugh that used to belong to our kitchen, not this place. Ronan stands close. Too close. His sleeves are rolled up, his eyes locked on her face. He says something and she smiles. My throat goes dry. I tell myself it's nothing. Maybe they're just finishing a late meeting. Maybe I'm imagining the way his hand rests on the edge of her desk, inches from her waist. I press my palm against the cold glass. My breath fogs the window. I wait for her to look my way, to notice me. She doesn't. He moves closer. I see his fingers lift a strand of her hair, tucking it behind her ear. My heart stops. She doesn't move away. I take a step back, unable to breathe. My mind tries to find excuses, but my eyes can't lie. Every instinct inside me screams that something between them isn't professional. It's personal. The elevator behind me dings softly, echoing through the corridor. She doesn't turn. Neither of them hears it. I walk away, drenched in a mix of rain and disbelief. The city lights blur as I reach the parking lot. I grip the steering wheel, staring at her car one last time. She's still up there. With him. For the first time in our marriage. I feel like an outsider in my own life. I whisper her name under my breath, as if saying it might wake her from whatever spell she's under. But she doesn't come home that night, and the image of his hand in her hair stays burned into my mind, long after the rain stops. Sienna walks in past midnight again. Her heels click softly against the floor, careful like she's trying not to wake me. But I'm already sitting on the couch, waiting. Her perfume hits first. Sweet. Expensive. Not hers. I say quietly, "You're late." She freezes. "I told you." We had a client dinner. I stand up. "And did the client wear Ronan's cologne too?" Her eyes widen for a moment, then narrow. "You're imagining things again. Why do you always turn everything into suspicion?" "I'm not imagining the smell. Or the fact that you came home smiling at your phone before you saw me." She drops her bag on the counter with a sigh. "It's work, Eli. It's stressful, but it's work. Ronan expects everyone to give 100%. I walk toward her, lowering my voice. "Then why does it feel like he owns a part of you now?" She turns away, shoulders stiff. "You're being ridiculous." Her bag slips open as she moves. Something falls out. A black folder. I bend to pick it up. "What's this?" Her voice sharpens. "Don't touch that." The label catches my eye. Personal arrangement. Confidential. I freeze. "What kind of personal arrangement, Sienna?" She snatches it from my hands, her movements frantic. "You weren't supposed to see that." "Then tell me what it is." "It's a standard agreement. Ronan gives all his staff these." I shake my head. "That's not standard. That's control," her voice cracks. "You don't understand how powerful he is." The fear in her tone cuts through my anger. "Then help me understand." She stares at the floor. Her lip trembles before she says, "If I tell you, it won't protect you. He doesn't like questions. What has he done to you? Nothing, just don't make this harder. She walks to the bedroom, slamming the door behind her. I stand there, staring at the folder still half open in my hand. The papers inside look like contracts. The top one bears her signature. I want to believe her. I want to believe it's just work. But my chest feels like it's collapsing under the weight of doubt. I pour myself a glass of water I don't drink. Her muffled sobs echo faintly from the other side of the door. By midnight, I can't take it anymore. I grab my keys and drive. The streets are empty. Linux Tower looms ahead, glowing against the black sky like a monument to arrogance. I park outside. The lobby is dark, but one light burns on the top floor. Her floor. Inside, the security guard barely looks up. Sir, the offices are closed. I nod like I understand, but my feet keep moving. The elevator hums softly as it rises. The higher I go, the more I smell the faint trace of her perfume mixed with something sterile, mechanical. The top floor doors open. The hallway is silent. Every door is locked except one at the end. It's marked restricted access. I push. It doesn't open. The keypad beside it flashes red, but through the glass I see light, movement. I press my ear to the door. Voices. One of them is hers, Sienna. Please. You promised this was the last time. A man's voice, Ronan's, low and smooth. I promised nothing. You signed willingly, Sienna. You said you'd protect him. That was the deal, Ronan. And I will as long as you keep your part. My pulse spikes. Protect who? Her voice trembles. I'll do anything. Just don't hurt him. The silence that follows feels endless. My breath catches. My hands tremble against the glass. Who is she protecting from him? The door clicks behind me. Someone's there. I turn, heart hammering in my throat. I was leaving work when a woman called my name. Eli. Her voice made me stop. She stood by the parking lot, holding an umbrella against the wind. I didn't recognize her. Pale face, nervous eyes. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Do I know you? I asked. You will. I worked at Linux, with Ronan. My guard went up instantly. You work with my wife? Used to, she said. My name's Elise. I was Ronan's assistant until I saw what he really does. I frowned. What does that mean? She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You need to get Sienna out before it's too late. The way she said it sent a chill through me. Too late for what? Elise glanced around as if someone was watching. Linux isn't just a company. Ronan runs something inside it. A division that tests loyalty in ways you wouldn't believe. He calls it culture building. It's not. I tried to keep my tone steady. You're not making sense. What kind of test? She looked at me for a long moment. The kind that destroy marriages. The kind that make people sign things they can't undo. Her hands were shaking. She reached into her coat and pressed something into my palm. A flash drive. What's on this? Proof, she said. But you didn't get it from me. I tried to stop her. Wait, what are you saying he's done to Sienna? She met my eyes. He breaks people, Eli. Especially the ones who think they can resist him. Your wife won't leave unless you show her what he really is. Before I could ask anything else, she walked away, disappearing into the rain. That night, I sat at my desk staring at the flash drive. The apartment was dark. Sienna was asleep in the bedroom. I hesitated, then plugged it in. The screen flickered. Folders appeared. Internal surveillance footage, Linux events. I clicked the first file. A party filled the screen. Employees laughing, drinking, the Linux logo glowing behind them. But something felt off. Their smiles looked rehearsed. Their movements mechanical. I skipped forward. Another video. A dark conference room. Ronan at the head of the table. He was smiling, but his tone was sharp. You work for me, he said to the group. Not for your families. Not for your conscience. For me, someone hesitated. He stood, walked behind her chair and whispered something in her ear. She nodded, terrified. My stomach turned. I clicked another file. This one froze me. Sienna. She was standing beside Ronan at a private dinner. Her eyes looked empty, her smile forced. He poured her wine, his hand brushing hers. She didn't flinch, didn't move, just stared straight ahead like she wasn't there. I felt something cold crawl up my spine. I kept watching, searching for an explanation. Anything. Then came the last file. The camera angle was close, shaky, hidden behind a curtain. A document lay on a desk. Across the top, it read, Personal Arrangement, Level 3 Compliance. Sienna sat in the chair, hands trembling. Ronan stood beside her. Once you sign, he said, you're safe. He's safe. My breath caught. She whispered something I couldn't hear, then picked up the pen. Her hand shook as she signed her name. The video froze there. Her signature, clear and final. I couldn't move. My hands were clenched so tightly my nails cut my skin. What had she signed to protect me from? I ejected the drive and sat in silence, the faint sound of rain against the windows returning. Through the darkness of our room, I saw her sleeping face turn toward me, peaceful, as if she had no idea I'd just seen her promise her soul to someone else. Sienna sits on the edge of the bed, her hands clasped tight. The light from the window cuts across her face, catching the streaks of dried mascara. I stand near the doorway, holding the flash drive I found last night. My voice feels colder than I intend. Tell me the truth.
What did you sign?
She looks up, startled. Where did you get that? Doesn't matter. What did Ronan make you agree to? Her lips tremble. It wasn't what it looked like. It was just a research project. Research? I laugh bitterly. You were trembling while signing a contract labeled personal arrangement. That's not research. Her eyes flash with something like shame. He called it a loyalty experiment. Everyone on my team had to take part. It wasn't supposed to mean anything. Did you read it before you signed? She shakes her head, whispering, He said it was only symbolic. He said it would guarantee my promotion. I take a step closer. So you traded honesty for a raise? Her voice breaks. No, I did it for us. For you, the room falls silent. I stare at her, trying to understand how my name could justify what she's saying. For me? She nods quickly. You're behind on the loan, Eli. Linux offered a payout. Ronan said if I proved loyalty, they'd clear your debts. My chest tightens. You think selling your dignity helps me? She flinches. You think I wanted this? I thought it was harmless. He made it sound like a test, not a trap. Her hands twist in her lap. I wanted to fix our life, not destroy it. I want to believe her. But her tone feels rehearsed, every word too smooth. Like she's repeating a story she's been told to tell. I pace the room, trying to breathe. So what now? Do I thank him for buying our marriage? She stands suddenly, grabbing my arm. Don't go near him. Promise me that I pull free. He already came near us. You let him. Tears roll down her face. I didn't know what I was walking into. By the time I understood, it was too late. Her phone buzzes on the table. The screen lights up with his name. Ronan. She stares at it, frozen. I grab it before she can. The message is short. Loyalty looks good on you. My stomach twists. He's taunting me now. Sienna's voice is a whisper. Please don't respond. He wants you angry. I turned the phone off and set it down hard. You're scared of him, aren't you? She nods. Everyone is. He has power over everything, over me, over you. Her words sink like stones in my chest. I walk to the window, staring at the city lights that feel colder than ever. You said it wasn't supposed to be real. What went wrong? Her silence answers everything. I turn back to her. What did he make you do, Sienna? She opens her mouth, but the doorbell rings. The sound slices through the tension. It's the courier, another Linux envelope. No name, no sender. Inside is a sleek black card with gold lettering. Loyalty is forever. I tear it in half. Sienna just whispers, You shouldn't have done that. The air between us feels fragile, like one more word could shatter everything. I walk away, needing air, needing distance from the woman I love but can't recognize. Hours later, I'm driving aimlessly when my phone rings. Unknown number, Mr. Eli? The voice is calm. This is St. John's Hospital. Your wife fainted during work. My grip tightens on the steering wheel. Is she all right? The voice pauses before answering. Congratulations, he says. Your wife is pregnant. The world goes quiet. My heart feels like it stops. Pregnant. But when? And with whose child? The white light of the hospital burns through my eyes. Sienna sits on the bed, pale, hands resting on her stomach. It's yours, she whispers. The baby is yours, I don't answer. I just stare at the floor tiles, the sterile shine making me feel sick. When? I finally ask. She hesitates. Around 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks, I repeat, my voice flat. You were in the company retreat then. Her silence is louder than her words. I look up. You can't lie your way out of dates, Sienna. You know how time works. Tears form in her eyes. Eli, please. I didn't cheat. I didn't. I was scared, and I didn't know what they were doing. What they were doing? I step closer. You're saying this happened to you? She nods slowly. Something isn't right with Linux. They took blood samples. Said it was part of the wellness check. I didn't think twice. I turn away, gripping the wall rail to stop my hands from shaking. You're telling me this could be... Not yours, not mine, but theirs? Her voice cracks. I don't know. I take a deep breath. Then we'll find out. I'm ordering a paternity test today. Her eyes widen. Eli, no. Ronan doesn't control science. I walk out before she can say another word. My chest feels hollow. The elevator mirrors show my reflection shaking like a stranger's. 3 days later, I return home. The apartment smells faintly of her perfume, but something feels off. The door lock is scratched. Inside, drawers are open, papers scattered. I check the folder where I kept the hospital forms. Gone. Every trace of the paternity test order has vanished. My phone vibrates. A text from an unknown number. Some companies own more than contracts. They own legacies. I drop the phone on the counter, my pulse hammering. Then a knock. I open the door and freeze. Elise stands there, hair disheveled, eyes wide. Eli. You're not safe, she whispers, stepping inside. I lock the door behind her. What are you talking about? They erased your test request, didn't they? I nod. How do you know? Because they did the same to me, she says, voice shaking. Ronan has been running experiments. Genetic surrogacy, he calls it. Contracts that bind more than work. He's creating company heirs. I stare at her. That's insane. She looks up at me, tears welling. I worked on the files. It's real. He uses female employees as hosts, promises them promotions, clears their debts, then signs them into programs they can't escape. My throat tightens. You're saying Sienna was part of that? Elise nods slowly. And you were targeted because you were desperate. The debt, the stress, it made her easy to manipulate. I gripped the counter to keep from breaking. So this child might be part of his experiment. She whispers, I'm sorry. I look at her, really look at her. The fear in her eyes, the guilt. There's something fragile in her expression, something that makes me want to protect her, even now. Elise, why are you helping me? Because I couldn't save the last one. Her words cut through me. The last one? She nods. There was another woman. She didn't make it out. Ronan covered it up as a company accident. The room feels colder. I can hear the hum of the fridge, the tick of the clock. Every second stretching too long. I won't let that happen to Sienna, I say quietly. She looks at me, eyes filled with something like admiration and fear. Then you'll need proof. Whatever happens next, don't trust anyone from Linux, not even her. Before I can reply, my phone buzzes again. The hospital. Elise, stay here, I say, answering the call. Mr. Eli, the nurse says, your test results arrived. My voice trembles. And? There's a pause. I can hear the faint tapping of keys in the background. The DNA doesn't match, she says. You're not the father. For a moment, I can't speak. The words echo like thunder in my head. Not mine, not mine. Elise steps closer. Eli, what did they say? I hang up and stare at her. My voice comes out hollow. They made her pregnant, not me. The silence that follows feels infinite. The air inside Linux smells like metal and perfume. Cold, expensive, artificial. I walk through the glass lobby wearing Elise's ID badge. My heartbeat matches the rhythm of my shoes against the marble floor. The guard scans my tag. Late shift? I nod, forcing a smile. Consultant. Project audit, he waves me through. The elevator mirrors catch my reflection. My suit looks real enough, but my eyes betray me. When the doors open on the top floor, the hallway is silent. Every door is locked except one marked restricted. Elise's access card clicks green. Inside, rows of filing cabinets line the walls. I flip through the folders until I find it. Project Heirloom. My throat tightens as I open it. Charts, photos, genetic sequences, employee contracts stamped with blood signatures. I read one page out loud, barely breathing. Fertility induction through selective genome pairing. Subjects unaware of full consent, I whisper. What is this? Then I find her name, Sienna Marin. Subject 027, my stomach twists. I keep reading. Chosen for genetic compatibility and psychological compliance. Married to a civilian with no corporate ties. Ideal host candidate. My fingers dig into the paper. Host? The next line feels like a knife. Pregnancy success rate confirmed. Program director Ronan Vale. The folder slips from my hand. Pages scatter across the floor. I crouch down, gripping one photo. Sienna in a medical gown, eyes empty. Everything inside me breaks. The door creaks behind me. Lost something, Mr. Consultant? A voice says. I freeze. A flashlight beam hits my face. Security. I stand slowly. I was told to audit these files. Funny, the guard says, reaching for his radio. Ronan doesn't allow audits. I move first. Grab the nearest folder, shove it under my jacket, and run. My footsteps echo through the empty corridor. I turn a corner, heart racing, until two more guards appear. Their grips are iron as they pin my arms back. Ronan wants to see you, one mutters. The elevator ride feels endless. When the doors open, the air is heavier, colder. His office is all glass and shadow, overlooking the city like a throne room. Ronan sits behind his desk, calm, perfect. Sienna stands beside him, her hands clasped, her eyes blank. Eli, Ronan says smoothly. Breaking into corporate property is not a smart move. I glare at him. You're experimenting on people. On my wife, he tilts his head. Your wife made a choice. We all sign contracts, don't we? Sienna, I say, stepping forward. Tell him. Tell me this isn't what it looks like. She doesn't move. Her gaze flickers toward me, but there's something missing. Sienna, I repeat, louder. Ronan stands. She's under my protection now. And you, Eli, should be thanking me. You're about to be a father to something bigger than yourself. My voice breaks. You took everything from us, he smiles. No, I gave her purpose. I turn to Sienna, desperate. Look at me, please. Do you remember what you told me on our wedding day? That nothing could come between us? For a moment, her lip trembles. Her fingers twitch. Then she says softly, You shouldn't have come here. The words hit harder than any blow. Ronan steps closer, his cologne thick in the air. You wanted the truth. Now you have it. He gestures to the guards. Take him to containment. We'll decide what to do with him. They grab my arms again. I fight, shouting her name. Sienna! She turns away. The doors close behind me. The last thing I see is Ronan's smirk, and Sienna standing by his side, smiling faintly. That smile feels like the end of everything. Ronan's voice cuts through the silence like a blade. Join Linux, Eli. Become part of us. Keep your wife. Keep the child. I stare at him. The fluorescent light catches the edge of his smile. You're insane, I say quietly. He circles the desk, hands clasped behind his back. Not insane. Visionary. You think family is built on love. It's built on legacy. We're giving you one. I look at Sienna. She's standing beside him, pale, distant. Her eyes find mine for a second before she looks down. Sienna. I whisper. Tell him you don't want this. Her lips part, barely audible. Don't fight him. My breath catches. What did you say? She looks at me then, eyes glassy. Please, Eli, just agree. It's the only way he'll let us go. Ronan chuckles softly. See, she understands. Resistance only ruins what we've built. I clench my fists. You built nothing. You broke her. He steps closer, lowering his voice. I can give you everything you've been chasing. A home, stability, a family with your name on it. Just sign. He slides a contract across the table. My name is already printed on it. I stare at the paper, then at Sienna. Her hand trembles against her stomach. Something inside me hardens. No, I say. You don't get to own people. His eyes narrow. Then you'll lose everything. Two guards move toward me. I shove the table aside and run. The glass shatters as I slam through the door. The hallway blurs, alarms start wailing. I hear Sienna's voice behind me. Eli, stop. I don't. The stairwell feels endless. I burst through the lower-level door and nearly collide with Elise. She grabs my arm, pulling me into a narrow corridor. You're bleeding, she says. I'll live. What happened? He offered me a deal. To join him. Her face hardens. You didn't. I refused. She exhales in relief. Then we have one chance. Come with me. She leads me through a maze of glass doors and dim hallways until we reach the data vault. The server room hums with electric life, walls pulsing blue. Elise starts typing into a terminal, her hands shaking. We can copy the core files. proof of everything. Project Heirloom, contracts, subjects, all of it. I watch her. You're risking your life for this. I already lost it once, she says softly. The alarms grow louder. Red lights flash. Elise, I say, stepping closer. We have to move, she turns, eyes meeting mine. 5 more seconds. We're standing too close now. The hum of the servers fills the silence between us. You don't have to do this, I say. I do, she whispers, because you still have something left to save. The download hits 100%. She pulls the drive, hands trembling. Now what? I ask. Now we run. She opens the side exit door, sirens blaring behind us. The night air hits my face like freedom and fear mixed together. But before we move, she grabs my collar and kisses me. Quick, fierce, real. For a moment, the world stops. When she pulls away, her voice shakes. I just needed to know what it felt like to choose. We run into the darkness. Hours later, I sit in a motel room, staring at the stolen drive on the table. Elise is asleep in the chair beside me, her face peaceful for the first time. My phone vibrates. Sienna's name, I answer. Sienna? Her voice trembles. He knows everything. Run. The line cuts. The air leaves my lungs. He knows. I keep my eyes on the road. The rain hasn't stopped since dawn. The flash drive rests in my jacket pocket, the only thing standing between truth and extinction. Elise sits beside me, quiet, watching the drops slide down the windshield. You sure your contact will talk? I ask. She nods. He owes me. Once we give him the data, Linux will be finished. I grip the steering wheel tighter. Ronan won't go down easily. She glances at me. He will. They always do when their secrets reach daylight. Something in her tone feels too calm. We pull into an abandoned parking structure. The air smells like wet concrete and oil. Elise leads the way, her coat pulled tight against the wind. A small cafe flickers with half-dead lights at the far end. Inside, a man waits at a corner table, head bowed. That's him, she whispers. We step closer. Mr. Choi, I say. He doesn't move. Elise, is he... She reaches out and touches his shoulder. His body slumps forward. There's a knife in his back. The coffee cup beside him still steaming. I step back, heart pounding. What the hell is this? She stares at the body, whispering, No, he was supposed to be fine. Supposed to? I grab her arm. You said he was safe. Her eyes flick toward me, and for the first time, she doesn't look afraid. Just tired, Elise. My voice drops. Where's the drive? She looks down at my jacket. You had it. I reach for it. Empty. My blood runs cold. Elise, I say, barely breathing. What did you do? She exhales slowly. You were never supposed to survive this long. The world stops. What? Her expression shifts, regret mixed with something darker. Ronan needed the files, Eli. I couldn't get them myself. Only you could. I take a step back. You used me. I helped you, she says quietly. You would have died at Linux if I hadn't stepped in. I just had to make sure you delivered what he wanted. My voice cracks. Everything we went through. The running, the kiss. Was that part of it too? She looks away. It wasn't supposed to matter. But it did, I say, the words bitter. Didn't it? Her silence answers for her. Behind us, footsteps echo. The sound of boots. Dozens of them. Elise, I whisper. Please tell me you didn't call them. Her eyes glisten. I'm sorry, Eli. They promised me freedom. I laugh once, broken. Freedom from what? Your conscience? The guards surround me. Flashlights cut through the shadows. A man grabs my arm, twisting it behind my back. Elise steps aside. I stare at her. You said you wanted to destroy Linux. I did, she says softly. But Linux destroys everything it touches. There's no way out except through it. Her hand brushes my sleeve as I'm pulled past her. It's the smallest touch, but it burns. At the door, I stop. Tell me one thing. Did Ronan plan all of this? She nods once. Every move. The guards drag me forward. That's when I see her. Sienna stands behind Elise, eyes red, face streaked with tears. Sienna, I choke out. Why are you here? Her voice trembles. I tried to stop it. They wouldn't let me. The guards pull harder. My voice breaks. Sienna, please! She reaches a hand toward me, but Elise catches her wrist. Don't. Sienna's cry echoes through the corridor as the elevator doors close. They throw me into a dark room that smells of dust and metal. My wrists ache. My mind spins. The lights flicker once, then steady. A speaker hums in the ceiling. Eli. Ronan's voice. Calm, cold. You've been busy. I glare at the speaker. You destroyed my life. I refined it, he says. You've proven loyalty through pain. Congratulations. The sound of a door locking clicks behind me. You're finally part of the company. The intercom cuts off. The darkness swallows me whole. The sound of metal creaking wakes me. My cell door opens a few inches, light spilling across the floor. Sienna? She slips inside, eyes darting toward the hallway before closing the door behind her. She looks thinner, pale, but her voice trembles with urgency. Keep your voice down. They're watching! I step forward, my pulse hammering. What are you doing here? Ronan will kill you if he finds out. She shakes her head. He thinks I'm delivering your termination report. I grab her hand. It's cold, trembling. Why are you really here? Her eyes glisten. To tell you the truth before it's too late. I sit on the edge of the cot. She stays standing, arms wrapped around herself. I've been pretending, Eli, she whispers. Everything you saw, all of it. The loyalty, the distance. It was the only way to keep you alive, I shake my head. You sided with him. You let them do things to you. To us, her voice cracks. I didn't have a choice. Ronan threatened to erase you. Your name, your records, your life. I had to make him believe I was his. The words burn through me. And the baby? Her lips tremble. She looks down. It's not his. It's not yours either, my breath catches. What are you saying? She takes a step closer, eyes fierce. It's no one's. I replaced the embryo. What they're growing inside me is synthetic, empty. It can't live. It was my only way to destroy Project Heirloom from the inside. The room spins. I grip the edge of the cot to steady myself. You risked your life for that? For you, she says. And for everyone they plan to use next. I stare at her, trying to find the woman I once loved. She's still there beneath the exhaustion, stronger than I ever imagined. Why tell me now? I ask. Because they're almost done with the trials. Once they realize the results are fake, they'll come for me. I can't run without you. I move toward her, my hand brushing her face. Sienna, after everything, I still... She presses her fingers against my lips. Don't, not yet. Just promise me you'll leave if I don't make it out. I shake my head. I'm not leaving you again. She smiles faintly, eyes wet. Then we go together. She pulls a small card from her sleeve, a stolen access key. This opens the security gate on sub-level 3. There's a service tunnel beyond it. How did you get this? Ronan trusts me more than he should. For a brief moment, the weight between us softens. She leans into me, her forehead against my chest. I never stopped loving you, she whispers. Every time he touched me, every time I lied to you, I repeated your name in my head so I wouldn't break. I hold her tighter. We'll fix this. We'll expose him and walk out free, her voice breaks. There's no freedom after Linux. There's only survival. We reach the corridor outside the cell block. Alarms hum faintly in the distance. I can almost taste freedom. Then a voice cuts through the silence. Beautiful words, Sienna. We both freeze. Ronan steps from the shadows, his suit immaculate, his smile sharper than glass. 2 guards flank him, guns drawn, he tilts his head. You disappoint me. I gave you purpose, and this is how you repay me? Sienna stands tall, defiant. You gave me chains. I just learned how to wear them long enough to cut you with them. Ronan's eyes narrow. The embryo. What did you do to it? Destroyed it, she says flatly. Your legacy dies with me. His face twists. You fool. That child was the future of this company. No, she says. It was the end of humanity. Ronan raises his gun, hand steady. Then I'll start over with you gone. Time slows. I move without thinking, stepping in front of her. You want someone to blame, take me. He laughs softly. I already have. The gun clicks. Sienna pushes past me, placing herself between us. Her eyes meet mine, calm and resolute. Run! The shot fires. The sound rips through the air like thunder. Her body jolts. Blood stains her white blouse. Sienna! I catch her as she falls, her hand gripping mine weakly. She smiles through tears. Now you live for both of us. Her hand slips away. Ronan lowers the gun. Expression unreadable. The world fades into sirens and grief. The gunshot still rings in my ears as I press my hands over Sienna's wound. Blood seeps through my fingers, hot and terrifying. "Stay with me," I whisper. "You'll be okay." Her lips tremble. "Don't." "Let him win." Ronan reloads, expression calm. "You were always too sentimental, Eli. That's why you lost her." I grab the metal tray from the nearby table and hurl it at him. The moment he flinches, I pull Sienna behind the console and slam the emergency alarm. Sirens erupt. Red lights flood the room. He shouts something, but the alarms drown him out. I lift Sienna into my arms and run. The corridors twist in chaos. Employees scatter, guards yell orders, and smoke starts to fill the air. Somewhere behind us, systems are failing. Sparks rain from ceiling cables. Sienna's breath is shallow against my neck. "Eli, the files. You have to end it." "I'm not leaving you. You have to. Please." Her hand grips my shirt weakly. "Finish what we started." I look down at her face, pale but steady. "You better be here when I come back," she tries to smile. "I'll hold you to that." I set her down gently in a supply room, hiding her behind crates. "Stay quiet. I'll make sure no one ever controls anyone again." Elise appears at the end of the corridor, her face streaked with smoke and tears. "You're alive," I say, half in disbelief. "I didn't know he'd go this far," she says. "I thought I was helping protect something greater." "You were helping him enslave people," I snap. Her eyes drop. "I know, that's why I'm here." "Give me the data," I hesitate. "Why should I trust you now?" "Because if you don't, everything we've done dies with you." Her voice cracks, and for once, I believe her. I hand her the flash drive. Together, we push through the lab toward the central server room. Smoke thickens. The fire alarms switch from red to white. Sprinklers burst overhead. Elise works fast. Fingers trembling as she connects the drive to the main terminal, I type the upload command, watching the progress bar crawl across the screen. "Once this goes live," she says quietly, "there's no going back." "That's the point." She nods, a tear cutting through the soot on her face. "I'm sorry, Eli." "For what?" "For all of it. The upload hits 100%. The screens flicker. Every dark secret, every experiment, every name released to the world." Outside, I hear sirens. Real ones this time. Police, news vans, helicopters. Lennox is collapsing. We sprint down the emergency stairwell. Smoke claws at my lungs, every breath like fire. At the ground floor, glass shatters as explosions echo from above. We push through the main doors just as part of the building implodes. The sky outside burns orange against the early dawn. I see her, Sienna, sitting on the steps, clutching her side but alive. I fall to my knees beside her, pulling her close. "It's over," I whisper. She looks up, eyes reflecting the rising sun. "Now we're free." Her head falls against my shoulder, her breathing steady, fragile, human. Behind us, Linux crumbles, the empire that tried to own everything but ended up owning nothing. Months later. The wind carries the smell of rain. The cemetery is quiet, only the rustle of leaves and the soft cooing from the stroller beside me. I kneel before her gravestone, fingers tracing her name. Sienna Vale. She didn't survive childbirth. The doctor said her body gave everything it had left to protect the baby, our daughter. She sleeps peacefully, wrapped in a white blanket. Her tiny fingers curl around the edge of the stroller. I speak softly, as if Sienna can still hear me. "You were right. The world knows now. Ronan's gone, Linux is nothing, and the people they hurt are finally free." I take a shaky breath, but none of it feels like victory without you. A small gust lifts a fallen petal onto the grave. I place my hand over it. "They took everything from me," I say, "but they left me one reason to keep living." I look at the baby, her eyes opening just slightly, deep brown, the same as Sienna's. "Your legacy," I whisper. "Not the company's." I stand, sunlight breaking through the clouds. The world feels lighter, but my heart carries the weight of her promise. As I walk down the path, the baby's soft hums fill the silence. Behind me, the wind sweeps across her name again, like she's still there, watching, forgiving, free.